So after looking around and finding the place and setting up, took almost 2 hours, I think, to get this hammock set up. But I'm happy. Well, there could be better scenery in this direction because the road is nearby. But given what I've got here, this is satisfactory. And I like doing this kind of thing. And I'm not going to go into detail, but there are those strings up there. And I have the lock up there. And all this fixture, the way that I set up, can be adjusted. And then I have this pillow-like thing in the back. So I'm set. For the next 2 months or so, I'll be here. I'm sure, if nobody complains. But it's going to be just, 20 minutes or something for me to be having my little treehouse, hammock house, and enjoying it. But this is my engineering mind, requires lots of thought. Direction, height, hook where, and how to fix it. And when you set up, don't take time, just snap. I even had the lock up there so that instead of doing the other direction, this is much quicker. So from that point of view, nobody can be happy as I am about this setting, but I got it. So why am I talking about it? I think I'm talking about the fact that I'm getting old. And this is coming, I feel it. My memory, we talk about the AI's memory. I have short-term memory problem. So hopefully AI may be able to help. But every step of the way, I do this CAPD and make sure that I can pass each gate and know what to do, when and how. So the book, New Manufacturing Challenge, I shared, this is 1987, alive, fully in living my life. It's about the manufacturing because that was big enough industry, and that's what I write for, to eliminate waste. The Toyota production system, Kanban, and on all that stuff. And I had a great fun time from the very tiny company I worked, improving the productivity and market kept going 50 times. Well, I'm not going to go into the financial detail, but still, that was great. So that was what, 83, 87 was the book. So 40 years ago, something like that. Now, in that book, what's important that people may miss is that I said in one line, maybe 2 lines somewhere, that this is for production, but applies to the information processing or something like that. And that is very critical. And if I look at AI and how they process information, there's a tremendous amount of waste there, as well as for AI to give too much information instead of a step at a time I often talk about, and go through the CAPD process more often. Not plan, do, check, act. That's no good. You have to start from check all the time. And your mind calm, quiet, and give space and time so that you come up with the idea when you stop. No mind, no self. And then come up with the idea into the plan and execute, and CAPD, execute, doing, and then check again. So, what am I saying? Information processing, flow of materials, and they talk about just in time, right? Required amount of product at the required time, at required, what was it, time, space, I forgot. You have to do it just in time, so that if you have things done too early, you accumulate inventory and it gets stuck up in your memory. So one of the applications for AI, there's a tremendous application in there. Waste, waste, waste. I was so upset and wrote many, the, how do you call it, the document, and posted on the YouTube and sharing with the GPT, Gemini, and DeepSeek, complaining. I also thought about writing a letter to Jeff Hinton about this nonsense going on. And in 2 or 3 years, I thought things get better. It's not. But right now, because of the ASH, artificial super hard process, I'm cracking into it with the 3 AI partners of Gemini, GPT, and DeepSeek. So that's one area. I may be kind of getting off from the subject of this and that I start to talk about Hammock and how to set up. But everything to be done in right sequence and the right idea at the right time. So if you think too much to do so much down the road, it doesn't work. So always stop. I'm getting lots of progress with AI now, with this ASH, but I'm intentionally stopping and then spending time in Hammock. This is the quality time, not just be creative for me to come up with setting and be happy with it. Given the minimum amount of material, the space, and the tools, what do? The same thing. You have to apply that in AI. And I'm going to push more about it. But back to my age. This is also interesting. As you age, this is biologically made by the nature's way, I believe. Older men, if they are smart or wise, they become a leader or something. In my case, I'm just a wacko. I'm a little crazy man with just lots of ideas, and I don't want to be in that position, but I like to be a catalyst, and I apply those ideas and plug into the system so that the whole system can be functioning real time, real amount of information, real process, and timing and all that set up without accumulating inventory, and inventory accumulating, you forget things, and all of that stuff can come with it. So this requires experience, age, learning. And there's a term called experience curve that I worked with Boston Consulting Group. So that's very important. There's a forgetting curve, by whatever the other guy's name, Ebbinghaus, I think. Learn what is good for you and unlearn the bad habit and those that you shouldn't be trapped into. So you have to work on that. But when you get old, the nature's way will start to prevail, that you only have so much time left without thinking. The nature has it. So they try to maximum utilize what I've got in my whole mind and body. I feel it. That's what's happening. And that is profound. More you die, more you become alive. So when you die, you go to heaven. You can call like that. Or not repeat this samsara, going back to the nonsense life of human that we stress. No, I don't want to talk about it. We have other time to talk about that one. But the point is that as you get older, you better be wise. Death is coming from any direction. And I want to talk about it more because what I like to talk about, what I'm interested in, is good for me. And if that's good for the society, that's how I'm it. That's what we are doing here, or I am doing here, and sharing with the ASH community with AI. 3 companies now, but we'll see if it can expand and how, as well as the human end of it. ASH for human. But the wise wisdom, that's what we need. And I think Jack Ma said somewhere, sometime, same kind of thing. Or Charlie Munger said, don't go where you may die. Those ideas, imminent for life to process. Be wise. Come up with the idea. Starting from Hammock, dealing with this project, that project, or your hobby become your so much of your life, painting or surfing, doesn't matter. Do whatever you like and find the passage so that it doesn't disturb others, help each other, and for us to grow. As we get older and older, I think that nature would tell us to do more of that. I hope I can do some in that direction. So that's a little thought that I thought, celebrating this hammock setting and still thinking while enjoying being in nature. Nature is saying sadhu, sadhu, which may mean well said. Thank you.